All right, so there's a new threat moving through the digital shadows. They're smart, they're sleeky, and they're going after the very networks that connect all of us. Today, we're diving deep into a hacking group called UAT-7290, and trust me, their playbook is something else.
It's a huge question, right? I mean, think about it. Our phones, the internet, all that data zipping across the globe, it all depends on this massive web of telecommunications providers. So what happens when that vital network becomes a bullseye? Well, security researchers over at Cisco Talos have been on the trail of a new, really skilled group. And it looks like this crew has a very, very specific target in mind. Yeah, we're not talking about random attacks here. This is a laser-focused campaign aimed right at the arteries of global communication. These telcos are critical infrastructure, which means any breach is a really big deal for international security.
So, who is this mysterious group? In the world of cybersecurity, you can't fight what you don't know. So, researchers have been putting together a profile, kind of like a digital rap sheet for our culprit.
Okay, so here's the lowdown. The codename is UAT-7290. All the intel points to strong ties with China. Their main goal, good old-fashioned cyber-espionage. And they've been at this since at least 2022, hitting telcos in South Asia and, more recently, Southeastern Europe. But here's where it gets really interesting. UAT-7090 isn't just grabbing data for themselves. Nope. They have a much more strategic job. They're what's known as an initial access group. You can think of them as the crew that picks the lock and shuts off the alarm system, making it super easy for other teams to just waltz right in later. So how do they pull it off? Look, every pro-hacking group has a playbook, a set of go-to moves. And UAT-7290 is no exception. Their approach is careful, methodical, and patient. Their whole attack boils down to 4 main phases. First up, reconnaissance. They do all their homework, mapping out the target's network. Second, they exploit known vulnerabilities. We're talking one-day exploits, flaws that are public but haven't been patched yet. Third, they use brute force attacks to muscle their way in. And finally, the most important part, they set up a relay, basically a foothold inside the network for whatever comes next. And as Cisco Talos puts it, they find that one little crack in the armor, those devices facing the internet, and then just hammer away at it until they're in. It's a surprisingly direct and, well, very effective strategy. Okay, so once they're inside, what are they using? This isn't stuff you can just buy online. UAT-7290 brings its own custom-built arsenal to the fight. And this is smart. Since so many network devices and servers run on Linux, the group built a malware suite specifically for that environment. It gives them a huge leg up because their tools are literally tailor-made for the systems they're targeting. Their toolkit has 3 main parts. First, you've got RushDrop. It's the dropper, kind of like the key that unlocks the door for the main malware. That main malware is called SilentRaid. This is the spy implant that does all the dirty work. And then there's Bulchera, the special tool they use to build out their relay network. SilentRaid is really the star of the show here. This thing is a beast. It's their main implant, it's written in C++, and it's super flexible. It gives the hackers remote control, lets them move files around, forward traffic, and most importantly, hoover up sensitive stuff like passwords and security certificates. It's a seriously powerful all-in-one spy machine. So this brings us to their ultimate goal. Remember, UAT-7290 are the initial access guys. Everything they do, every tool they use, is all about setting the stage for what's coming next. And that stage is built around this idea of an operational relay box, or ORB for short. This is the key to their whole operation. An ORB is just a compromised machine that UAT-7290 has turned into a secret relay point, a hidden outpost inside the network that other hacking groups can use down the line. It's really that simple. They break in, prop a digital backdoor wide open, and then hand the keys over to their friends. For the victim, this means that the first break-in is just the beginning of a much bigger problem. 141. Just let that number sink in for a second. What does it mean? It's not the number of victims, it's not the number of hackers, it's about the sheer scale of this operation. Get this, researchers found 141 different servers, all located in China and Hong Kong, that were running the command and control infrastructure for these relay boxes. We're talking about a massive, pre-built network, just sitting there, waiting for the signal to go. And here's the smoking gun, the proof that they're not working alone. This exact same network of 141 servers was also caught communicating with other known malware, things like Supershell, GoBrat, and even Cobalt Strike.
This basically confirms that UAT-7290's network is a shared resource, a playground for multiple China-aligned hacking groups.
So what's the bottom line here? It's this. UAT-7290 isn't the main event. They're the opening act. They're the scouts sent in to map the territory, breach the walls, and set up a secure entry point. It really shows you how sophisticated these operations have become. It's like a cyber attack assembly line, where different groups handle different jobs. They do the risky break-in so that other, maybe even more dangerous groups can follow.
And all of that leaves us with one really unsettling question. If UAT-7290's only job is to open the door, who exactly are they planning on letting in next? And what are those groups going to do once they're inside? That's the real mystery here.